Get ready to have your travel world rocked. We're diving deep into the secrets airlines don't want you to know. Buckle up, because this is 10 flight secrets that are never told to passengers. Let's go. Hey, it's Matt Parr, and here at Trip Expert, we help you travel worldwide. Lights out, eyes open. The emergency adjustment. Ever settled in for a night flight only to have the cabin lights suddenly dim during takeoff and landing? You might think it's just to create a relaxing atmosphere or maybe to help you get sleepy before a long flight, but there's a much more critical reason behind this seemingly simple action. It's all about emergency readiness and preparing your eyes for the worst case scenario. Dimming the lights isn't just a nice gesture, it's a crucial safety measure designed to help your eyes adjust to the darkness outside the aircraft. Think about it. If there were to be an emergency evacuation, especially at night, you'd be plunged into complete darkness. If your eyes are already accustomed to the dim lighting inside the cabin, you'll be able to see much better and react more quickly in the event of an emergency. Imagine trying to evacuate a plane in pitch black after being exposed to bright cabin lights. You would be temporarily blinded, disoriented, and far more likely to stumble or panic. By dimming the lights, airlines are giving you a head start on adapting to the darkness, increasing your chances of a safe and swift evacuation. So the next time the lights go down, remember, it's not just about ambiance, it's about safety and preparedness. Flying imperfections. The minimum equipment list. Explained, did you know your plane might be flying with a few minor boo-boos? We're not talking about major malfunctions, of course, but there might be a few non-essential systems that are temporarily out of order. Airlines operate under something called a Minimum Equipment List, MEL, which is a comprehensive document that outlines the specific equipment that must be functioning properly for a flight to depart safely. Basically, if the safety-critical systems, such as the engines, flight controls, navigation systems, and emergency equipment are all working correctly, they can totally fly with non-essential stuff broken, like a coffee maker, reading lights, or even that little in-flight entertainment screen that's been flickering annoyingly for the past 3 flights. The MEL is a highly regulated and meticulously maintained document that is approved by aviation authorities. It allows airlines to continue operating flights even when certain non-essential equipment is temporarily out of service, avoiding costly delays and disruptions. Coffee emergencies aside, it's all about prioritizing passenger safety while still maintaining operational efficiency. It's a delicate balance between comfort and core functionality. Secret lair, hidden crew. Rest cabins on long-haul flights. Prepare to be amazed and maybe a little envious. On those super long international flights that seem to stretch on forever, your flight crew isn't just magically appearing fresh-faced and ready to serve after 14 grueling hours in the air. They have hidden crew rest cabins. These are secret bunk areas, often located above the main passenger cabin, accessed by secret doors or ladders. These hidden compartments are designed to provide crew members with a quiet and comfortable place to rest and recuperate during long-haul flights. They are typically equipped with bunk beds, reading lights, and sometimes even entertainment systems. The location and design of these crew rest areas are carefully concealed from passengers to maintain a sense of privacy and discretion. So the next time you're on a long international flight, take a look around and see if you can spot any clues to the whereabouts of these secret crew havens. They're totally invisible to passengers unless you know where to look. It's like a James Bond movie up there, complete with hidden passageways and clandestine resting spots. It really makes you wonder what other secrets these planes hold. Oxygen. Briefly, the truth about those masks. Those oxygen masks that drop down in an emergency, they're a reassuring sight, but they're not designed for a long haul, and it's important to understand their limitations. While they provide a vital lifeline in the event of cabin depressurization, they only supply air for about 12 to 15 minutes. That might not seem like a lot of time, but don't panic. That's generally enough time for the pilots to descend the aircraft to a safer, breathable altitude if the cabin loses pressure. In the event of a rapid decompression, the pilots will immediately initiate an emergency descent to a lower altitude where the air is thicker and there is sufficient oxygen to breathe without assistance. The oxygen masks are designed to provide a temporary supply of oxygen to keep passengers conscious and able to assist with the descent. Think of it as a rapid descent assist, not a permanent oxygen source. The key is to quickly secure your mask and help those around you, as the pilots are already working hard to get the plane to a safe altitude. Don't be thinking you'll be able to survive long distances with that little help. Water works, maybe not. The in-flight beverage. Warning, think twice or maybe even 3 times before ordering that coffee or tea on your next flight. While it might seem like a comforting way to pass the time, the water used often comes from onboard tanks that aren't always sanitized as frequently as you might hope. The water tanks on airplanes are typically filled at the airport before each flight. However, the frequency with which these tanks are cleaned and disinfected can vary depending on the airline and the airport. Some flight attendants even avoid it themselves, opting for bottled water instead, and that should be a clue. While the water is generally considered safe to drink, there have been concerns raised about the potential for bacterial contamination in these tanks. You might want to consider sticking to sealed beverages like bottled water or canned soda just to be safe. Your gut will thank you. Pilots take naps, legally. Controlled rests, explained. Yes, you read that right. Pilots, the highly trained professionals responsible for your safety, can actually sleep while they're flying the plane. But don't worry, it's not as reckless as it sounds. On super long flights, pilots can actually sleep. It's called controlled rest, and they alternate rest periods, typically with a co-pilot or relief pilot remaining awake and constantly monitoring all of the aircraft systems. Controlled rest is a carefully regulated practice that is designed to combat fatigue and ensure that pilots are alert and focused throughout long-haul flights. The rest periods are scheduled in advance and typically last for around 20 sek, 40 minutes. During the rest period, the pilot will recline in their seat and close their eyes, allowing them to get some much-needed rest. It's all about staying sharp on those marathon flights and avoiding pilot fatigue, which can lead to serious errors. Sleepy pilots are not safe pilots, and the airlines recognize that. This is why they have carefully crafted procedures in place to ensure that pilots get the rest they need. Airplane mode, friend, not foe, understanding radio. Interference, we all know the drill. Please turn off all electronic devices or switch them to airplane mode. But have you ever wondered why this seemingly simple request is so important? Modern planes are pretty well shielded, but having dozens of phones simultaneously trying to connect to cell towers can still disrupt cockpit communications. While it's unlikely that a single phone connecting to a cell tower would cause a catastrophic failure, the cumulative effect of multiple devices could potentially interfere with the sensitive electronic systems used by the pilots to communicate with air traffic control and navigate the aircraft. Think of it as avoiding a noisy party line more than preventing a plane crash. Airplane mode prevents radio interference, not actual crashes. It's about minimizing potential distractions and ensuring clear communication between the pilots and air traffic control. It's really just about precaution. Bathroom break-in, the emergency unlock secret. Airplane bathrooms aren't as private and secure as you might think. While they offer a much-needed respite during long flights, there's a little-known secret about their locking mechanisms. There's an emergency unlock switch on the outside. Usually hidden behind the occupied sign, it allows crew to open the door from the outside for safety reasons or in case of a medical emergency. This feature is designed to allow crew members to quickly access the lavatory if a passenger is incapacitated or experiencing a medical emergency. While the thought of someone being able to open the bathroom door from the outside might be a little unnerving, it's important to remember that it's there for your safety. A little unnerving, but good to know in case you ever need it. The passenger assessment, flight attendants' silent superpowers. As you're boarding, you might be focused on finding your seat and stowing your luggage, but you might not realize that flight attendants are quietly assessing you and every other passenger. They're trained to evaluate passengers for potential issues, things like intoxication, illness, or even identifying who might be helpful in an emergency. They're looking for people who are visibly unwell, overly agitated, or who might require special assistance during the flight. They're like silent superheroes, always scanning the crowd and mentally preparing for any potential challenges that might arise. This assessment is a crucial part of their job and helps them to ensure the safety and well-being of all passengers. So the next time you board a flight, remember that the flight attendants are not just there to serve you drinks and snacks, they're also there to keep you safe. Seat selection matters, maybe, crash statistics and placement. Okay, let's talk crash stats. It's not a topic anyone wants to dwell on, but it's worth knowing some basic facts. Statistically, passengers in the rear of the plane have had slightly higher survival rates in certain types of crashes. Now, this isn't a guarantee, and every scenario is different. However, studies have shown that passengers seated in the back of the plane tend to fare better in crashes where the front of the plane absorbs the initial impact. This is because the rear of the plane is generally less likely to be crushed or severely damaged in a crash. It's something to consider when you're choosing your seat. Next time, I think I'll be choosing the rear seats, just in case. Of course, no seat can guarantee your safety in the event of a crash, but it's always good to be as informed as possible. So there you have it. 10 flight secrets airlines usually keep under wraps. Hopefully, this knowledge will make you a more informed and savvy traveler on your next adventure. Now, if you want to track your trips and everywhere you've been, including cities, hotels, restaurants, and key travel stats of everywhere you've been, make sure to download Trips app, which is completely free and available for both Android and iOS. Now, check out this video on the screen if you want to discover how to travel the world for super cheap and how to potentially make money traveling. This is how I visited over 50 countries easily. Flying first class for cheap, it's basically a free course for doing this. I'll see you there.